right, welcome to another episode of Medicine Mondays. I am yours truly, Dr. Pierre, your favorite board certified internist, host of Medicine Mondays, host of Real Physician Reacts, as well as the other YouTube channel, Dr. Pierre's Health Checks. And we bring you a special episode this week, right? It doesn't come very often, right? But this is my birthday week. I am actually turning 39. And if you're new to the Lunch and Learn community, you know that around my birthday, this is when I like to highlight, I think, one of the most important things you should be doing to try to take care and take control of your health. And that is getting your annual checkup. That is correct. So typically around my birthday is when I start getting ready to kind of schedule my annual wellness visit, get my checkup in, just to make sure I am up to date on all of my health related issues. And as I get older, it's funny, as I get older, I know there are some things that are on the horizon that I need to be more concerned about, more worried about. So I'm turning 39 this week. So depending on when you watch this, December 15th is my birthday. And around my birthday, I become crazy health conscious, which I think everyone does, right? As you get older, and especially when your birthday hits and you recognize like, oh yes, I'm actually a year older, you get a lot more conscious of what you used to be able to do and what you can do now. Like, again, you when you get older, for some reason, you have more aches and pains than you ever remember having. When you get older, things you used to be able to do, things you used to eat, things you used to be able to drink, you can't really eat or drink anymore. Like, I know me, like I'm a big spice and hot type food flavors. And I know now, like, I can't eat a lot of those foods that I used to eat before, right? A lot of those foods, if I eat them now, I'm gonna have some heartburn, I have some stomach, all these things that like I never used to have to deal with when I was quote unquote young. And again, obviously, I'm only 38, but I will be 39 the time my birthday kind of rolls around. So it's always interesting for me to kind of again reflect on some goals and some plans that I have for the next year. And we've done a few episodes on some of our celebrities or just people of importance who have died at much early ages due to cancer related issues, due to just health related problems that again as we're growing up, we don't feel or we don't think about. It's usually not in our forefront, but it kind of gets slammed into our face, right? Obviously, one of the more prominent figures that recently passed away, that we did the episode is when we did the episode on Chadwick Boseman, who died of colon cancer. And a lot of people were struck back because I think a lot of times when we think about just cancer in general, I think a lot of us think about cancer being this older person's disease. Like, you have to, it takes a long time for it to happen. So it always shocks us when someone who we consider relatively young dies from cancer, because we're like, how did this person die from how they were young? Like, that's always the case. Like, they were young, which makes it worse when a child has cancer, right? But like, we always, I think, attribute the word cancer as being this older related disease. And I know as I get older, right? Again, I'm turning 39. There are certain things that I need to be on the lookout for. And obviously we'll do, this this will be maybe more men slanted, right? We'll probably do a women's one too, right? In fact, we'll probably, I'll get one of our lovely obstetrician gynecologists to come on and kind of talk about the women's health exam, right? Because I think that's important too. So as I get older, right? Once I hit like 39 is not really the age where you start worrying about or thinking about procedures or anything. So typically when I go, and I'm going to be getting my checkup soon, when I go, I'm making sure, obviously, making sure my blood sugar is okay, because I'm not a diabetic, but I want to make sure I don't become a diabetic. I'm going to follow up on my blood pressure. Obviously, going to be following up on my weight. All going to be following on, other related issues that come to occur. But what's because important, right? And again, I kind of dropped a hint, especially when we talked about the cancer, is now I have to start thinking about kind of cancer related issues that may be coming up that I need to be worried about. So I know that at the age of 40, especially for, and I'll speak in my case, an African-American male who has a higher risk chance probability of developing cancers like prostate cancer, colon cancer, I need to be more wary of those types of exams, right? So again, I maybe ended up getting a PSA, maybe not this year, but probably definitely for sure next year. I have to start thinking about getting a colonoscopy sooner rather than later. Typically, the age used to be when you were 50. And for African Americans, when you were 45, because we know the higher risk incidence. But there's a lot more evidence that's kind of forcing us to we probably should think about it sooner. And even though I don't have a family history of cancer in the family, colon cancer, GI-related cancers, I'm very mindful that I don't want to have to wait till I'm 45 again. I think this is, again, it's one of those things where, again, when you, as you get older, you start thinking I'm not getting, you've heard the phrase, I'm not getting any younger. So these are things that I know that I need to take care of myself. Again, I want to be here for as long as possible for my children. And to do so, I need to make sure I'm doing all of the requisite health checkups that need to be done just to get me there. So I'm already mentally thinking that I got to get that colonoscopy soon. I already know it's that, again, and I'll tell you, I've said this before, pride has to be left at the door, right, when it comes to taking care of your health. So I can't wait to get the colonoscopy done. Again, they're not going to give it to me at 39 because 39 is really young. There really isn't any evidence that says I should begin at 39. But you best believe at the age of 40, I'm going to be knocking on someone's door to see if they think I'm in the right candidate to do it. Because again, like I said, I'd rather be safe than sorry when it comes to getting our healthcare. And I think that's why I love the month of December. Obviously, it's Christmas, it's my birthday, so I get the little double presents and everything. But I become much more health conscious and focused on how do I make it the next birthday. And typically this is around that time frame when you start hearing and seeing people start talking about resolutions. And we've had conversations about resolutions in the past. I've had a couple episodes, I think with one with Dr. Brad, I think episode 118 on the podcast, where we talked about this aspect of having a resolution. And I think if you're one of those people who are waiting to the holidays, to go by before you start thinking do I need to make some changes? Then you're doing it backwards. And, Dr. Sylvia Bowley, who is an amazing friend of the show, she's been on here several times. She kind of talks about just this aspect of the holidays and eating during the holidays and trying to, obviously trying to be social during the holidays. But if you're thinking about becoming health conscious, we can't wait until January 1st, right? Again, I happen to be fortunate. My birthday happens to be before that. So I get super crazy health conscious before we hit that corner. So if you're with me, right? If you're hey, you know what, Dr. Pierre is right. I do need to start thinking more health conscious. I always say, think about your birthdays. This is when I typically always try to schedule, my annual visits and my wellness checkups around my birthdays. Because again, that's when I know most people are health conscious. So if you're thinking hey, how can I take, how can I, take what I learned from this episode and try to apply it to my life? Think about yourself. When is the last time? And obviously, the men for sure. I definitely want to talk to the men because we have this issue big time. When is the last time I just went to the doctor for my regular checkup? Just regular checkup. When's the last time? And if you have to think about it, for a long time, it's probably been too long. And start thinking all right, how do I put myself in the best position so that in 2022, I'm making sure I'm putting my health first, right? So let's think what day is coming every single year. Your birthday is coming, God willing. And if your birthday is coming, schedule your appointments around that time frame. Start getting yourself together around that time frame so you can be prepared to get in your wellness exam, right? And again, like I said, there's so many different things. We've had plenty of episodes on what to expect during a wellness exam, right? But again, and I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier today. Think about it, what is my blood pressure? Especially if you're one of those people who walk into the grocery store or your local pharmacy and you never check your blood pressure. How's my blood pressure doing, right? How's my cholesterol doing, right? Making sure all of my kidney function, liver function, and all these other lab related things are good and normal. And then more importantly, where based on my age am I at as far as any kind of routine cancer related screenings or anything that need to be arise. Again, October just passed. We talked a lot about breast cancer awareness. Again, I say this all the time. Even though these illnesses will have a month where we focus on it, it's still 12 months out of the year, 365. We're always thinking about it, always putting some focus on it. And stay tuned, because I'm working on a partnership with a company to kind of focus on, especially like breast cancer related stuff. More details later for sure. But like, that's where I think we have to be, like, we have to take a step forward, right? Like, again, we want control. And the patients I talk to, especially in this day and age, they're not the type of patients who, the doctor says, jump and they ask how high. They want to have some level of control in their health and their wellness. And to do so, like, you have to be proactive, right? So again, for my birthday, right, what I want everyone to do for my birthday, right, is to make sure your health related issues are up to date. Get your health exam. If you have not done so, get it done ASAP. Right. And I got a special request for you guys, right? Because again, you got, I love the praise that you guys give me on the YouTubes and the Instagrams and the Facebook and the podcast and all. We love all of that, right? If you want to give me a special shout out, right, I am going to have a link in the description. Happy birthday, drbarry.com, right? Happy birthday, drbarry.com. Is going to send you to a link where you can kind of leave me a voicemail to say, hey, you know what? I'm doing this, right, to take care of my health for 2022, right? In fact, or you can just tell me happy birthday, whatever you want to do is fine. But I want you to tell me how you are going to take control of your health for 2022, right? Like, that's all I ask for. Small thing, just a small thing. So it is what it is. Again, this is a quick episode. Again, holidays are here. My birthday is here. I feel blessed to, be able to continue doing what I'm doing for you guys every single day. And in 2022, we're going to keep on doing this every single day. But we got it. But again, we can't do it if we're not healthy. Again, whatever, goals you're trying to obtain, being healthy in all different facets, and all of the facets, again, sexual health, mental health, physical health, financial health, all of those things there need to come combined. So I need you to start by making sure I'm looking at you, right? I'm looking at you, or I'm talking to you, depending on if you listen to me in the podcast. I need to make sure that you are doing everything you can to be the healthiest person you can be for 2022. So you guys be blessed. Have a great holidays. And I'm going to see you guys next episode. Bye.